Hello, everybody. Welcome to this early morning brief of the Real Sports Scope on this 23rd day, Monday edition here. Got back on. I know I wasn't on last week, but got on this week. I wanted to do the mock draft 11 through 21, 22. Did not get a chance to do that this weekend. Got very busy doing some other clerical work per se. But I do got a few comments on the NCAA tournament up to this point. Got a few sound bites and a couple other things, tidbits to talk about. Stand by. We'll take our first little break. I'll be back here momentarily. We'll hit the ground running here on the Real Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then, folks. I'm back here. A lot of talk about the NIL transfer portal over the weekend with the favorites on Friday, folks. They went 16-0. BYU, by the way, spent $12 million on their roster. Got put out in the first round, which also cost me a game the other day. That was on Thursday. And yesterday, of course, Kentucky, $22 million went out in the second round. I do have that shot they made. I'll play back for you in a minute that they put in the who was it on was it St. Mary's for them to actually survive. They got that shot. And of course, Kansas missed the Sweet 16 for the fourth straight year. De'Aaron Peterson was the top player NIL recruit. He's been a lot of trouble all year. But listen, four straight non-Sweet 16 appearances for Kansas. More on that a little bit later. Let's see. But, my point is you still got to have high chemistry. You still got to be able to coach these players. And, a lot of thoughts about the underdogs not winning. Florida was beat yesterday by, they were the number one seed. Like I said, not really the guard play this year. And they were double-digit favorites. I think this, folks, builds up. This builds up the tournament in ratings because of the peak of interest as the rounds get better, as the rounds get later, like it's supposed to in the playoffs. In pro sports, it's more like a pro sports, right, with the pay and everything. But it builds the drama rather than that. There's often ratings peaks in the early games with the upsets between Thursday and Friday. There's often ratings peaks there. Not the case here. So I actually like the build-up in the later rounds. And then the Final Four, the ratings top off. And then you win as the games get better. Like, for instance, last year, then you had one-possession games in Duke and Houston. A meltdown by Duke. You had Florida and Houston in the national championship game coming down to a possession or two. Not a lot of blowouts there. A lot of times the championship games are kind of, they're sided by 8 to 10 points. It's not quite as exciting there. So I got a feeling that this is going to do like last year, So I do like the fact that listen, I just mentioned a lot of blue bloods. Kansas, Kentucky, out. North Carolina, out. Florida. Is it going to be a dominant team that's buying the league every year? No, out in the second round. Brackets still busted. Nobody has a perfect bracket that I've read. And, of course, they don't. I've read it. Listen, here is Tommy Lloyd. Here is the coach of Arizona, a trendy pick, my pick to win the national championship, talking about the finances and why he took the Arizona job.
Second straight year, no mid-majors or in the Sweet 16. What are your thoughts on that, and is it damaging to the overall tournament March Madness concept?
Yeah, I mean that's a really great question and a deep question, and we could probably go a lot of different directions with it. I think look where I came from. I came from a program that was a mid-major program that made itself into a major program, and I think that parity is great for the game, but things change. And, I think once, finances become part of it, there's going to be a breaking point for some of the lesser programs that just don't have the finances. And I think that's just a obvious statement. So, there's lots of reasons I took the Arizona job. And one of them was kind of forecasting these changes happening, because right when I was getting the job, the NIL deal was rumored, and then it started in July. And I figured Arizona's a place that has a pretty strong, long basketball tradition, and they're going to be excited to invest in basketball, and we have. So I'm thankful for I am, but I think that's a great question, and I don't have a great answer for you on how to fix it. So let's just leave it at that. But that's a great observation by you.
Yeah. Listen, his team is led by 3 freshmen, so it's not a lot of transfer guys there, okay? You still got to have chemistry. You still got to be able to coach these guys. Michigan State coaches hard. Izzo, old school. Barkley commended him. You still hollering and barking at the players. Well, they made it through. They won yesterday. So I do believe a lot of it's going to be overstated. People's going to run with it. They're going to run with that narrative because it's an easy argument to do. But that being said, still got to have team chemistry. Still got to be able to coach them hard. De'Aaron Peterson's been his whole stint has been a nightmare for Bill Self in Kansas. You could see it, all the blowout. Now this was a 2-point game, and it cost me. Yeah, I had St. John's minus some more points. Turned out to be a 2-point game, but you get the point, folks. Okay. I got a few alarms that's set to go off that I need to turn off. But, okay. All right. Now, speaking of other news and notes here, Bill Self, 23 years. I've talked about the 10-year rule in sports style. You can give some more leeway in college sports because you have a rotation of players here. 23 years. He looks pretty tired there. He's had some health issues as well. Not sure if he's going to come back to Kansas. I would probably move on if I'm Bill Self and Kansas per se. I think that's a great program. I think they'll find somebody. They brought him in when Roy Williams left, I want to say. But we'll see. We'll see. He looks pretty frustrated with the De'Aaron Pearson situation. 4 straight years, no Sweet 16s. Great program like that. I'd probably move on if I were him. UNC, going back to the other night, I want to say this was Thursday, up 19 in the second half. That lead on VCU, although they did have injuries, really no excuse for that. Hubert Davis saw reports over the weekend, unlikely to come back to UNC. Nothing's been official yet, but there are rumblings about that. That's a classic case of I'm not surprised why we don't have more of this, but it's hard to follow a legend. He's following Roy Williams there, 2-time national championship. I think he might have won 3, but I know he won 2 at UNC. It kind of reminds me of the Alabama situation. Keelan DeBoer still a coach at Alabama. It's just a matter of time. Him following Nick Saban, it's just really hard to be the guy to follow the guy. Never want to do that. And Davis really looked like he did not have an answer for why they blew that lead. He was like, yeah, good question. That is from a coach that's checked out. So I expect North Carolina and Kansas to have new coach. As far as Kentucky and Mark Pope, I saw a lot of that's been injuries. I would give Pope a few more years here. Let him try to work this thing out. I saw some promise with him last year. They seem to have injury problems the last 2 years. Give him a few more years to get this thing squared away. I still believe in Pope at Kentucky. So that's the little coach's watch there. I've also found some, speaking of Kentucky, let's see if I can play this clip here. Pretty good clip here where they did actually get into the second round. I think this was over St.
Santa Clara. This is Gavin Ludov. Graves elevates. Buries it. 2.4 away. He got it. Ortega away.
Yeah, that was Santa Clara. And, of course, they won in overtime and then ultimately were blown out by Iowa State, who also had some injuries. So let's see. A few more highlights here. Nebraska, first tournament ever. So you can't really go with that narrative there. They're a football school. They were a football school, and now they're a very decent football school. But anyways, now they're in the first. They're in the Sweet 16. Vanderbilt. I mean, man, Vanderbilt fans. I'm out of Nashville. The lid closing on the. I work with a Vanderbilt fan at my day job, and man, he works in the mailroom. Philip, I don't even know if I want to see Philip this morning after what happened over the weekend. If this is the right clip.
The man that catches it deep. Vanderbilt, no timeouts. Half court heave. Oh!
I mean, let's watch that again. I mean, just in and out like the lid closed. Vanderbilt just an inch away from winning 73-72. Watch
The
it.
man that catches it deep. Vanderbilt, no timeouts. Half court heave. Oh! Tanner!
Wow. And here's a funny moment here. Kentucky's got a player that's 7'8". Yeah, you heard that right. This guy's taller than Wembanyama. They don't have any skills there. They're already out of the tournament. But here's a guy, 6'8". I'm 5'8". I would be like baby, small, medium, and large, right? I would be small compared to these two guys. Here's a clip that I found also on TikTok. Pretty interesting.
Now you're standing there, you see him standing next to Hassan Diallo, who is 6'8".
And look at Hassan Diallo looking up at Ollie.
6'8". It's like
They had him listed 7'9". 6'8" versus 7'8" is what the official measurements are. But 7'8", wow. I don't know if Wembanyama's 7'5" or 7'6", but either way, these guys are getting bigger. Now, of course, hey, size ain't everything. The guard play wasn't there. They got put up by Iowa over yesterday, actually. I went off on Draymond Green the other day. Not in person, just here on the show. He's a pretty big dude. Yeah, I'd be looking up to him like that. He'd probably kick my butt. But anyways, Draymond Green over the past few days, him and Stephen A. Smith talked about Nashville being a great destination for a new NBA team here. I do a ride share here on the side here, and that'd be great for the city. I tell you what, this is a fast-growing city. I meet people from all over the world. I do think NBA would be excellent here. We have enough diversity for it. we have enough sports fans. I take them all the time to sports bars back and forth. It would be great. Even Stephen A. Smith said this would be two guys that I've pounded. So I want to thank two guys that I've been vehemently against for some of their race baiting comments over the years and whatnot. And Stephen A. Smith's kind of cooled on that, but Draymond Green hasn't. But I do want to thank Draymond Green for that. So I'm not, I like to call balls and strikes here. I do think that, and Draymond Green was talking about moving Memphis here, which would define. I don't know if Memphis, I met a guy from Memphis the other day. He said he don't know if they would miss the Grizzlies here, but we would appreciate any kind of pro NBA team. All this stemmed out from the league in discussions of adding 2 new teams here over the past few days. Middle of last week, they were talking about adding 2 new franchises to cities like now Seattle. They've been overdue. The Supersonics were a great team. It's very unfortunate. Love to see Seattle get another team. I don't know if Vegas would really like it. I think Nashville would appreciate it more from the people I talked to from Vegas. So it's Vegas and Seattle. I think Nashville would be next. I'd much rather see Nashville get a team over a Las Vegas. There has been some rumblings about possibly Nashville getting a Major League Baseball team with the new dome here. I think they can handle it. It's going to be built next year, but we'll see. We'll see here in Nashville. So that's all I got this week. I will say this: the Lakers have been on a little bit of a tear here. I don't talk a lot of NBA. Kudos to them on their winning streak. But hey, the Spurs are playing well. OKC's playing well. You got the East, you got Boston, you got the Knicks there. It's going to be the regular season's been dismal at best. I mean, just hard to watch a lot of it. A lot of criticism, a lot of rightful criticism. But I do think the playoffs will be interesting, particularly in the West, with OKC, San Antonio, and, of course, L.A. now. Those top 3, that'll be interesting. And then the East now with Tatum coming back with Boston, them, and, of course, the Knicks. And I know that was it Cunningham there is injured there. I don't know what the situation is with him with Detroit. That'll be pretty interesting as well. So the playoffs will be interesting as we come into April, and those start here in about 3 or 4 weeks. So, folks, if you like the show, share the show. I'll try to be back Wednesday, but if not, I will definitely be back Thursday with the Mad New Yorker, and we'll talk about what's going on in the wide world of sports, particularly this NCAA tournament here. And hopefully I'll be able to get I'll be able to continue my mock draft here. So if you like the show, share the show. Have a good Monday, everybody. I'll see you then here on the Real Sports Scope. Have a good Monday.